All right, we are ready to start week 9 of the course. And last week was a little bit more kicked back. Would you agree that it was a little lighter on the workload? Hopefully, it was for you. And this is Thursday, October 9th, that I'm making this video. I should have everybody's literary analysis graded by sometime tomorrow afternoon. And I have to say that this has been one of the best groups of analysis work that I have read. So I'm really excited about the outcome there. I know sometimes at this point in the semester it's easy to lose some momentum and drive, and you guys are hanging in there. Thank you so much for your hard work. I pulled up the syllabus here just so we could kind of get a big picture view of what's going on for the week of October 13th through 19th. Remember that H designates that this is for the Hirschberger text. The last names are the names of the authors for the particular articles we're going to read, and they start right here on page 454 and go through page 382. These articles were all chosen because they do two things. One, they create really good arguments about a topic that about topics that are relevant issues. Okay. The second thing they do is they all demonstrate illustration in writing, and if you notice, we are in the illustration essay unit. So these are kind of dual purpose utility players for our unit this time. Okay. On one hand, as you read them, I want you to consider how the writer crafted their essay using illustration to elaborate. Illustration obviously isn't drawing. I know that first time you ever hear that term, you think, oh no, where I don't take art, I don't do this, right? But really what illustration is building out a topic using examples, stories, anecdotes. It's basically coloring in the main ideas that you have. So it's beyond just the facts, ma'am. It's the stuff that's not inaccurate, but is not just a statistic. It is not just a factual statement. It is the stuff that expands that idea out. Sometimes we feel like a little bit rambly when we're illustrating, so it's kind of important to, or really important, to make sure we're staying on topic with our illustration and to make sure that we use I always say with my younger students, the rate student. How do you rate? You're going to first read these texts, you're going to answer a question, because that's kind of what an argument is. It's an answer to a question. You're going to use textual evidence, but you're not going to stop there. You're going to explain it out. So yes, we want to illustrate with ideas from the texts. We want to illustrate with some of our own ideas, but we also need to explain it. Why does that illustration that we've chosen, that textual evidence, or that original illustration, why does it matter? We have to have that explaining piece. So the other trick to this assignment this week is that you have to have more than one source, and the sources have to be from this list. So I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm actually talking about the paper that we're working towards, but I do want you to keep that in mind, that for next week, October 20th through 26th, the paper that we're writing is going to use at least two sources, but it's not, when I say that, don't feel like you have to use more than two. Two is fine. And we'll talk a little bit more next week about what synthesis looks like, but you might want to set up a table or a diagram as you're going through some of these. Make some notes, maybe even just tab your book with sticky notes for things that you think are important, but also to show how one argument kind of connects with another. So as you're reading this week, we are just doing the reading and discussing this week, but do start thinking about how different articles might mesh with each other to create a central argument, or how you could create an original argument and bring in two of these sources and integrate them into your own writing. Some of them are natural pairs, but I've seen unnatural pairs also work very well. Remember, you're not looking for two sources that you can agree with, you're looking for two sources that you can refer to and use as illustrative material to make your point for this next paper. A little different spin this time. I think you'll enjoy some of these articles. At least some of them have a little bit of a fun edge to them, and some you might appreciate more than others. We are doing the discussion board this week and responding to several articles as well as several peers. If you have any questions, give a shout. All of this is also in your course content page by page, but I wanted to explain it out here. You have a great week, and just as sort of a send off, one thing to consider as you're doing some very close reading this week to power up for the paper next week, you may want to consider going online to find a graphic organizer to help you organize your ideas. One of my very favorite resources is called readwritethink.org, and look for student interactives on the left hand side of that page on Read Write Think, and there are ways that that will help you organize, or just do a search for graphic organizers, or use the Word document Smart Art to help you organize thoughts as you read so that you have brainstorming and notes already taken when you go to write your paper next week. So a couple ideas there, readwritethink.org. You can go to the Smart Art or the Smart Charts on Word documents, or just do a Google search for graphic organizers to help you set up a paper. Or you know what? Take out a pencil and paper and make your own chart that shows connecting points and main highlights to one another as you do the readings. Have a great week.